I've been covering basically every one of these coronavirus task force press conferences live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and most recently live streaming on Twitter as well. If you've not been watching them, your mental state is probably much better than that of people who have been watching them, because they really are these propaganda explosions. But I want to highlight two moments that are just complete microcosms, absolutely the epitome of what we're dealing with here. Donald Trump, when asked specific questions about numbers, ventilators, masks, how long this is all going to go on, when and how many tests are and will be available, Trump retreats to vague generalities and weird statements. And Trump, during one of the weekend press conferences, was asked about thermometer availability. Are they available? Should they be distributed? Should people be buying thermometers? And Trump instead talked about just how stunning it is that there are infrared thermometers, not a very new technology, as you may know, which can take people's temperatures from a few inches away. This is what we are dealing with. The person in charge right now is surprised and stunned at infrared thermometers. This is from my stream over the weekend, so you'll hear me laughing, which is what I do to avoid crying because of what's going on.
And I say, I've seen things when Tony mentions thermometers. They aim something at your forehead, they stay this far away, boom, and they tell you what your temperature is. I said, I've never seen that before. I've learned a lot. It's incredible. Go ahead, the back corner.
Trump's takeaway from all this is, hey, infrared thermometers exist. This guy is operating on a totally different level than anyone who has any business dealing with this crisis. And I don't mean at a higher level. I mean at a lower level. And during the same press conference, Trump was increasingly tripped up about ventilators. We have about 170,000 ventilators in the entire country. Now, somewhere between 5 and many more times that a number of ventilators will likely be needed during this pandemic. The U.S. has ventilators in a strategic stockpile. Trump insists we're getting ventilators, we're getting people ventilators, we're getting more ventilators, we're sending them, everybody's going to have them. Never tells us when, never tells us how many. And Donald Trump here retreated to expressing shock that, hey, did you know ventilators are a machine? Not everybody knows that. Take a look at this horrifying and sad clip.
You know, a ventilator is a machine. It's a very complex machine. And to think that we have to order hundreds of thousands, nobody's ever heard of a thing like this. You know, when we had in the stockpile, we had thousands in a stockpile, thousands ready to go. That's a lot. All of a sudden, you need hundreds of thousands. And you're not talking about, you know, the mask is whether it's plastic or whether it's material. That's one thing. But you're talking about a very sophisticated, heavily computerized machine, and delicate.
Wait a second. All this time, ventilators are a machine. Now, adding insult to injury, Donald Trump said it's a very complicated machine, only to have Mike Pence show up a minute later and say the opposite. Mike Pence actually said it's such a simple machine, not a complicated one, that we're looking at retrofitting other devices to make ventilators. Take a look at this.
It doesn't include what will be produced. As the president said, we're seeing companies step forward. These manufacturers tell us that a ventilator actually isn't a very complicated piece of equipment, and many of them are literally surging forward to create more ventilators.
Oh, so it is a very complicated and sophisticated piece of equipment, or it's not. These are our leaders right now, not by choice. No Ebola czar. And of course, we are not in good shape with these people in charge. There are so many levels of ugly going on here. This is just one of them, and it's truly depressing.